Hi everyone, Trina from Cosmopolite here. Felt very inspired after sitting down, laying down on my mat and doing some asanas to share some more stuff with you because I just published a video a few days ago, or maybe it was just yesterday, I really don't remember, about how star seeds, how we struggle being in our physical form, and basically the messages that came forth through plant medicine. Every time I did sit in ceremonial fashion with these plant medicines, and I share some helpful tips, but also what I've created to help with this as well. So I feel like this video is very much connected to that video. But before I dive in, before we begin, I'm bringing back that practice of mindful breath, and I'd love for you to join with me. We'll take 3 deep inhalations, in through the nose, and we're going to exhale out through the mouth. Feel free to exhale as loudly as you want to, as this helps to really move out stagnant or really dense, stuck energy or emotions maybe that you're, what I mean? You're like holding it in. All right, so here we go. In through the nose. I can feel my heart stirring. I feel energy moving right here. That's really good. Plus I took a heart tincture. I have a tincture up on my Etsy shop. Divine, so divine. The Fae called me to the rose bushes in my garden at my last home, and I worked with the spirit of rose, and with Venus during Venus descent into the heart chakra gateway last year. So it's charged with amazing energy, and it's beyond Venus. It's way more stuff, just to let you know that it's charged and encoded with. It's amazing. So it really, this tincture helps so much with moving out grief. Anger is a big one. I've had a lot of people tell me like they had old anger come out. Sadness, even just what's the word, indifference, the walls you build, even anxiety. So yeah, check that out in my shop, Cosmopolite. That's the name of the shop. So anyways, yeah, I'm feeling stirrings here, and just for like maybe 2-3 days I've been feeling really flighty, like a squirrel brain, and that's very common for me and for a lot of other people who have high levels of air and ether in their constitution. So that's number 1. And it's also common for those who are star seeds. If you're very aware, maybe you're not aware, that you're a star seed and you came in and have like higher developed DNA and your energy is higher vibrating, that it's hard to like stay in our bodies at times. We want to vibrate out of it because our physical form is dense, it's heavy, right? So anyways, it's funny because right after I did that video on embodiment, I started to kind of feel like won't, and it's very possible that people tuning in and watching my video, I'm feeling them too. So I was like, man, yesterday was self-care Saturday for me, and I started to get on my mat, and then my partner wanted to cuddle, and I was like, I'll take the cuddles. So I went and cuddled with him and took a really long nap. So here I am on Sunday. I finally got on my mat, and I just knew that I needed to work out like some really tight muscles in my shoulders, and I'm going to get into that. I'm going to share a little bit more about me so you can understand why this is so important, and this is a celebratory moment for me. The sudden change in the music, that scared me for a minute. So like I said, I didn't really know where I was going to start. I just knew I needed to get on my mat. I also made sure to have this ball. I have another one, but I can't find it. It's smooth, but this is the other one. And per suggestion from my friend Tammy, massage therapist, she encouraged me to get like even just like a little rubber ball, but I ended up finding this at Ross. So you can use this to, like, I'm a writer, right? And I'm doing content creation all the time. So it feels really good to do this to massage the muscles in my hands, but I also use it on my feet. So this is really, really important. First of all, I was born with flat feet. That's first of all. So my whole life, you know, as a kid and everything, I freaking hated. I hated walking. I hated going for hikes. I hated just a lot of physical stuff because it would always really hurt my feet. And I just wasn't inclined to do sporty stuff. I was very in tune with creation and like art, writing, drawing, reading, you know, stuff like that. Music. So, yeah, I just didn't really like being active. I really struggled with my body pretty much my whole life until I started tuning more into my culture. Like, and even before I tuned into my culture, when we would go visit my family in New York every holiday, of course we'd have salsa music playing and merengue playing, and so we would dance with our family members. So that was, you know, one of the few times I'd move my body. You know, I take that back. I grew up hardcore Pentecostal, so we would dance at church too. So that's another time I would dance. So, and just in general at home, I'd dance. So, but see, that's the common thing. I always loved dancing. I didn't like playing in any sports. I didn't really like doing anything really. And it also was hard for me to do stuff because I also was diagnosed with severe asthma and severe chronic sinusitis and allergies. So, yeah, it just got tougher and tougher for me to be really active or play with friends. But I did love playing with friends when I could, you know? So that, I'm just trying to give you background about me. I loved dancing, though. That's the one thing that was the common thread, throughout my life. So when I got older and was a freshman in high school, it was like when I was a freshman or sophomore, my best friend at the time, she's from Mexico, and so she introduced me to some of her friends over in the city across the river, Louisville, where I'm at now. But at the time I was living across the river in southern Indiana, Jeffersonville. So she introduced me to some of her friends, and, you know, it was a really, really small pocket of Latinos over here in Louisville. And on the weekends, they would have parties. So we started going to them to dance and be around, you know, our peoples. And that's how I really got back into loving dancing and moving my body. And that actually helped me, you know, get in tune with my body, love my body more, give me more confidence. But I was doing something that I loved to do, and eventually later down the road, I don't know how many months or whatever, that's when I started to notice. I started to notice my legs looked different. I had lost some weight, and I was like, wow, you know? So that's when it connected that, wow, moving my body, even dancing, something that brings me so much joy can really work out my physical form, but I'm having fun. So going into college, I continued to dance, you know, dance on campus with friends or get-togethers. I had wonderful friends from all parts of the world and loved hearing their music and dancing to their music. So, I mean, we would get together and dance. We'd go to small parties and dance. And then, you know, eventually I started going to dance clubs and dancing. And I loved being there so I could dance and get lost in the music. But later on, I would connect the dots on why I felt a certain way when being inside of a dance hall. like later on, when I was fully connected with my clairvoyance and everything, I realized the whole time I would be inside of a dance hall, I could feel energy and I could feel entities there. And it's just, for me, I could feel like such a heavy layer of mixed low vibrational energies of like despair, anger, jealousy, lust, like really strong sexual desire, but like unconscious sexual desire, just a mix of stuff. And then the way people act, obviously, right, when they're drunk, when they drink inside these places, and they become even more unmindful, and a lot of these people are already living unconscious lives, so then add booze in and they start acting a fool. So when I left my old life, when I had my catalyst moment, which I talk about a lot in many other videos, a good tip would be the Seva Chronicles, episode 3, I think. I speak about my partner at the time, someone who was extremely wounded, and his behavior, because of someone being so extremely wounded and fragmented, he treated me in a very horrible way, a very unloving way, and there's just way more in there. I'm choosing consciously at this moment not to use certain vocabulary, because I chose a few days ago that I'm going to start rewriting that story of my life. Super grateful for that point in my life, because it was my catalyst for me to wake up and remember who I am. But it's been many years. That happened in 2011, 2012 when I was activated and awoke. So we're now in 2021, and I think it's time for me to start rewriting that story. Yes, I am a survivor of abuse. Yes, I am a survivor of a narcissistic person, of someone who has narcissistic personality disorder. I am a survivor, and I am proud of myself. I'm proud of that. But I am going to start rewriting my story and stop calling this person. I always had like a title for this person, and I don't want to call it that anymore. So anywho, when I had that moment happen in my life, and I received the codes and activation, and this is in 2011, 2012, and I was finally able to separate from this individual. I then moved back in with my father in southern Indiana, and I decided that's it. I mean, for the first time in many years, I felt peace, I felt solitude, because I've, was finally away from this person who had caused a lot of stress in my life. And for me to completely be, basically everything was just stripped away. Everything, like my confidence, my awareness of self. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what was what anymore. I didn't know what my purpose was in life. Everything was just flipped completely upside down. And I knew I needed to build back up from scratch. Just ground zero, destruction level. I'm in rubble, and knew I needed to just figure out how to heal myself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This was the biggest thing, because my whole life I had run away from my spiritual life. The whole time I had run away from my spiritual abilities, my clairvoyance, and everything like that. And I was like, this is it. Because really, that's what saved me in that relationship. I got to a point I finally reached out and cried for help. I prayed into the ethers, show me something. And that's when tons of stuff started pouring in. And I was like, wow, okay. So that was number one for me. I knew from that moment forward, I would do everything only after seeking spiritual guidance. And that's what changed my whole entire life. I made my spiritual life my focus, and I said, no more drinking, no more going out. Not that I was someone who drank a ton, but I loved drinking with my friends. I loved when I did go and dance, I'd have a nice, tasty, mixed drink, right? So I said, no more of this. I don't want to go to dance halls anymore. I don't want to be around anybody anymore. I'm going to change the food I eat. I want to be home, and I want to tune into myself and figure out who I am and why I'm here and what's going on. Why did I go through that? What happened in my past? What happened in my childhood for these things to transpire? I just need answers. So because of that, that's what started my journey. That's what started my journey, and the journey with my physical form. So that leads me back to share with you that for the first time ever, I began working out in 2013. I never worked out a day in my freaking life. I'd never been in a gym. I'd never done any sports other than what you have to do in PE, or, when you're in a community setting like my church, we would have this thing every summer, and we had a portion of it where we would be outside playing something, dodgeball, kickball, and that's nice and fun, but I was never sporty, never in a team, nothing like that, never worked out, like I said. But I told myself, you know what, it's time. I'm now being led to clean out my body, to detox and work out my body. So that's what I did. I did a fast, and then I got a gym membership, and I picked a workout program that I found out online, and I got to it. Went to the gym and learned how to lift weights, learned about the different machines, and just started getting to it and started to watch my body transform, and that was huge for me. So on and off, I would kind of stay active after that, okay? But I had stopped dancing. It's so sad to think about it now. I had stopped dancing. I mean, I would dance at home in my room, right? Or like at a friend's house, just dance around, but I never kept dance as a huge part of my life. I never kept it present in my life. So let's see. I did go abroad to Europe for some months in 2013, and I did get to dance a little bit. And I was with my friend. I was staying and living with her. I'm sorry. And we had a project, Soul Stories. So I'll drop that link for you because it's a love child, and I would still love to continue that work. So yeah, we were there working on a project called Soul Stories, and we went to Amsterdam. So yeah, we went to like 1 or 2 dance clubs, and so yeah, I did. I got my groove on. But also in Italy, inside the small cafes, at night they're, during the day too, they're playing music, but more like ballads and stuff. But then at night they have some pretty music, Italian music. So, and then there's the square, the village square, so people would be dancing, so I would dance a little there. I loved that. I loved it so much. So let's fast forward a bit. So 2015, I'm getting back into yoga, right? I told myself, all right, it's time to get myself back in alignment, because I had just gotten back from being in Philadelphia, and it was so challenging. I talk about it in different places. It was just very challenging for me. It was not a place meant for me to stay for long. It was not good for me. And I realized that while I loved activism, I loved being in social activism and standing up for people and people's rights and all that good stuff, social justice. But I realized that the work I was doing in that way and protesting and stuff, I felt like it wasn't benefiting anyone the way I really wanted it to. Because while in Philly, I could go and protest all I want. I could march with all these people all I wanted, all anybody wanted. But I was starting to realize that people aren't going to change. Us as a whole, we're not going to change. We're not going to change unless each individual starts changing at that level, at the personal level. Just like I had done and chose to make an oath to create that relationship with spirit, with creator. Every person needs to do that. Every person needs to start going within and making changes on that level. And then as a collective, we change, and we change our society, we change our structure, everything like that. You know what I mean? So I was starting to realize that, because we would do all these marches and we'd get together and have all these town hall meetings, and I noticed we just kept arguing. People kept arguing, and it was hard for one person to understand the other person's point of view or this and that. And I was just starting to realize, this isn't going to work, and it's not going to work for me, because I was sensing so much. I was sensing like ages of history in the city. I could feel such a heavy demonic presence in Philadelphia, and just so much painful history and gory history. So there's just so many different spirits and stuff that I was sensing, and a lot of black magic going on there, and I just wasn't with it. I was like, this isn't working. And I didn't have a safe haven there, a place to, even in my own home. My own home was stressful. The person I was with at the time, I was stressed out by this person and the people he was connected to. So, and things just didn't work out. So we broke up and I left. And I said, oh my God, that's it. I need to go back to the drawing board. I need to go back to ground zero. And Trina, I need to remember what's good for me. So once again, I cleaned out my body, my system. I remembered the fast that I had done years ago. So I incorporated a detox and then a fast. And that is the spark of what is now my online course that is going to be available very, very soon. So yeah, and then after that, I just started taking myself into nature, like almost every day, and made that oath once again. I said, okay, I know I'm at a new level now. I'm now very aware of lower vibrational presence, but I'm also aware there's higher vibrational presence. But the thing is, I want to know you on a very personal level. So let's do this. So I take my ass into nature. But also during this time, I got the invitation to start drinking Mother Ayahuasca, and that was an intention I had set back in 2013. So of course I accepted this invitation, and through this 9-month journey with Mother Ayahuasca, she told me different things about my body. She told me and helped me feel it too. It was through Mother Ayahuasca, and then I was introduced to Kambo while I was there. So Kambo and Hape. I don't even know how I forgot to talk about Kambo and Hape in my other video, so I'm really sorry about that. But through these medicines, I started to realize that my spine was crooked. It was not in alignment, and this misalignment was causing physical things in my body, but also an energetic misalignment. I realized that my hip, there was something going on with my hip, because I was in yoga teacher training at the time, and I was doing really well until we got to a certain part where we had to work on balancing asanas. And when my instructor showed us frog pose, hold on, I'm going to show you. These are actually pages from my yoga teacher training book. So this is frog pose. So you see it activates your sacral chakra. So if you don't know me, I talk about it in other videos, but I'm going to share it here now. While I was communing with Mother Ayahuasca and in yoga teacher training, I had memories surface that I was sexually assaulted as a child. In Germany, I was molested. So I think I'd already known about it, and then they tell us to try this pose. I tried to do this pose and I couldn't. I could barely get my legs open. I could, like, and it's weird because growing up my whole life, I was a very flexible person. Like, I could do all kinds of flexible stuff. But once I became aware that I had been molested, it's like my body. And I go into more detail in that in Blooming with Mother Ayahuasca Part 2. In there I talk about why it's important to do body work, because there are memories stored in your body, in your muscles, in your tissue, your joints, everything. So I think that's what had happened, that the memories surfaced and now it was in my body, and my body wanted to let go of it, but it was stuck. It was stuck in my pelvis. It was stuck in my hips. And not just being molested as a child. I had memory surface of being raped and stuff like that in past lives, right? And then as the collective, it's sad, but it's true, right? Our ancestors, our great grandmothers, our great grandmother, it could even just be one generation over, was raped, molested, was something, right? That's how the feminine collective has been treated for a very long time in patriarchy. And that's for a reason, and it's to keep us disempowered and not to remember how powerful we are and why we're so powerful. The true power here, women and men are both powerful, but it's the feminine spirit, is the spirit itself that this agenda tried to oppress and suppress and make the human race forget. Okay, so anyways, during my time with Mother Ayahuasca and yoga teacher training, Kambo and Hape, I noticed there was a lot of stuff going on in my body that I needed to work on. It was my next project in my journey, right? So I couldn't even continue with yoga teacher training. I had so much going on. I was trying to integrate my inner child, and my inner child was freaking out. Like it felt like a psychotic break almost, really. And I came back up to Southern Indiana to work on some stuff, to talk to some people, to even address the person who had done this to me as a child. And that began a whole new journey of working on my body. I was able to get healthcare through the government and started working on chiropractic care, which was huge. So this is huge, and this is why today is a celebratory moment, okay? Because in 2016, I started chiropractic care. And I was able to really get into chiropractic care in 2018, because that's when I moved to Kentucky and I had better healthcare from the government. And I started a routine with my chiropractor where I was seeing him every week, maybe even twice a week. And it took a lot for me to even be open to seeing a male chiropractor. But this man is truly gifted in what he does. I was very open about what had happened to me, so he was very mindful. And he's also, I could tell he was also, not was, because he's still alive, that he is also a starseed, even though he may not be aware of it. So I could feel his higher energy, and I knew he was a mindful person. So he's amazing at his craft. And it took like a year. It took all of 2018 for us to work on my low back, just my low back. My hip was rotated. So let's say this is my spine, and this is the front of my body, and this is the back of my body. So this part of me, my pelvis was pushed forward, and it was also rotated this way. So he had to work for a whole year on getting it unstuck and getting it to stay in place. It was so painful. It was so excruciatingly painful. And with this pain came memories, tons of memories, as during each appointment, anytime I felt an adjustment, I had to literally set an intention. I had to say prayers. I had to prepare myself, because every time I walked into that office, it was a very spiritual and healing experience for me, to move out old energy that I was carrying, either because of my bloodline, my lineage, my family, past lives that I experienced, or things that happened in this current incarnation. So each time something was moved in my spine, it was just a rush of feelings, a rush of memories, and I had to work through stuff. I had to work through shame, anger, guilt, sadness, joy, happiness. There was all kinds of stuff that would come up. So because I had to work on my spine like that, and it was really painful in the beginning, I definitely couldn't move my body the way I used to. I stopped doing my yoga asanas like I used to. I stopped hiking as much as I used to. I stopped moving around outside, and I would do what I could. I would do like some yoga asanas that would help with these areas that were in pain. Like my very low spine and pelvis would be in so much pain because it was sore after having been a certain way for God knows how long. The muscles were tight. Everything was a little bit pissed off as it was moved into its correct position. So I would do like different stretching and stuff to help ease this and move things out. Move it out with stretching, with water, with breath. Then I eventually began massage therapy. So yeah, I began massage therapy, which that actually just began last year. Massage therapy is not something that I was able to afford all the time. So, but last year, you know, I just put it into the universe and ended up reconnecting with someone I had met at a chiropractic office years ago. So it's the same woman I told you about that suggested this. Her name's Tammy. And here comes Wolf, because he's like, hey mama, what you doing? I'm being nosy. Yes, I reconnected with Tammy, kindred spirit. And so now, you know, I'm trying to get this pillow. Now we support one another with our gifts. You know, we'll trade our gifts, or sometimes I do pay her, you know. She's amazing at what she does. So she's helped me move out so much stuff with massage therapy. Now, one last thing I want to add here is that in 2018 too. I forgot. It was 2017 or 18. I ended up buying Vibrams, 5-finger barefoot Vibrams. I had always wanted them for years, and so I finally got one because I was doing research on my body, right? While I'm getting chiropractic care done, I wanted to understand things about my body better. So I started looking into my my feet, the issues people have with when they have flat feet. And I think it's called periodontitis or something like that. So thing is that people who have flat feet, because they don't have the arch, there are certain muscles that we never engage or use. So it leaves our feet kind of like underdeveloped. And because of that, there's certain muscles in our calves that we're not working out. Because of that, it's not getting activated, not being used. Also, my whole life, I've always hated shoes. I always loved walking barefooted. And then on top of that, I just hate wearing shoes because it feels like my feet are suffocating. It really does. So doing physical activities or just walking somewhere with friends or a friend or by myself could be painful with the shoes that I would wear because I have no arch. So I loved skater shoes because they're flat and my feet are flat, so it was great. So I ended up investing in Vibrams, and they're amazing. It feels like your feet are just like they're barefoot, but with some kind of protective layer over it. You know, I can wiggle my toes, and that's the other thing, that people in general, they are not utilizing certain muscles in their feet. We have basically devolved to a degree in many ways, but especially with our feet, because before we had shoes, we would walk around barefooted and we would engage and use our toes and everything to grip, and then that would activate other muscles in our feet. But because now we wear sneakers, we're walking in a very weird way, how we're not supposed to be walking. So, and we're not gripping the earth with our toes. So these shoes are amazing. It has strengthened my feet. It's insane. Like, it seriously made my feet and my calves so much stronger. Like, my calves have changed, the way they look have changed, and my feet have changed too. So that is another huge thing though, that if you are, this goes with anything, if you're working out any muscle, please make sure you stretch. And my problem is sometimes I wouldn't. So then, you know, here we are years later, and sometimes I've been lazy, and so sometimes I get these cramps because my feet muscles or my calf muscles are super tight, and I'm like, oh God. So that's why I was like, hey, I need to get on the mat, and I really need to massage out my feet and my calves and stretch out my lower body and get everything feeling good. So that's what I was doing, and I really got into it, and I decided to go ahead and just do all these different asanas, okay? So I did this one, that one, that. I'm just going to show you all of them real fast. This one is really, really good, by the way. Pigeon pose is really good if you have been through some kind of sexual abuse in any way, or if you have issues with your hips. It's amazing. Or if you have low back pain, okay? There's that. And then ta-da, frog. And we're going to talk about frog. I want to share my celebratory moment. This, and then I did my last, this was the last one I ended with. I want to share with you all how excited I am, because after pigeon pose, it really helped and stretched out my muscles in my butt, like, you know, my glutes, my inner thighs, and everything, which felt really good in general, because like I still go to the chiropractor, but now we work on my middle and upper back, and we're making really good headway on that. So this has been a journey. Just want to let you know, this has been a journey. This has been years of working on my physical body. I get sore still, and I haven't done this in a long ass time, okay? And so after pigeon pose, I went into this pose, and it hurt. I was able to like spread my legs really far. I was maybe like this much off the ground, like my pelvis to the ground. And then I just stayed there and I breathed. I took a deep breath and then sighed. I was like, and then I heard pop. My right inner part of my leg, my thigh that connects to my pelvis, popped. I felt a release, and then my leg, both my legs just relaxed and spread open more. And I was like, for the first time ever since I had the memory surface from my childhood, I was able to do a very, very deep pose, very, very deep frog pose. So I was on the ground like, oh my God, and giving thanks. I was like, this is amazing, and breathing. I was like, this is it. Harmony coming into my body more. This is it. This is the juice. This is it. And it makes, oh my God, it's amazing. It makes so much sense. Okay, so I wanted to share that amazing news with you, but I also wanted to tell you that I'm also really excited about tomorrow. So I knew I wanted to prepare my mind and my body for what I am going to start tomorrow. Tomorrow, I begin my day one of a dance workout program that I signed up for. So remember, I told you I love dancing, and I have not danced in so long, and I miss it. So, and then of course I'm not that keen on working out. So when I found out about this dance workout, and no, it's not Zumba. I used to do Zumba too, and I loved it. And I know there's like free Zumba stuff on YouTube, but there really is truth in buying something, because then you hold yourself way more accountable. You know you put forth effort into getting something, so you're gonna do it, right? It's like having a gym membership. You pay for it, so you don't want to waste your money. You're gonna do your best to go as much as you can. So yes, I invested in this dance workout program, and I'm super, super, super excited. I'm so excited. I begin tomorrow. So I will be dancing 6 days a week for a month. And I wanted to tell you, because I feel like if I say it publicly, it would also help me stay accountable, because I know I have a lot of other stuff going on, but I can't neglect like my care. And I already do other self-care stuff, but I've been promising myself for a while that I would start working out again, because I need to. If you don't know, like over the last 3 years or so, like I mean, I obviously shared, right, that I didn't move my body as much after I started my chiropractic care. So that's one. So by not moving my body, I ended up gaining a little bit of weight, but just a little bit. And I liked it. I was like, oh, I feel good. I look good. I feel good. But then a lot of stressful stuff started to happen. Like our reality, this land that we were fighting for, it just fell through. It was demolished, and we had to leave. It was some crazy Kali energy that came in, and I have videos on it. On that, maybe I'll put the links below. And so from there, we had to hop around for a while. We moved to somewhere really fast, and I did not enjoy being there at all. It was very stressful. And so that stress, affected my body too. And on top of that, having to eat food that I normally wouldn't because of financial reasons. So I started eating like more fast food or restaurant food, not drinking as much water, not eating as much fruits. And then after that, we moved to a place where I got to be around more nature. We had our own place again. But that was during my time at this place. It was so much shadow work, so much shadow work. 2018 to 2019, it was so much intense shadow work and stuff happening. And by the end of 2018, after my partner had a family member pass away, it really affected him, affected his mental health and everything. And that also affected me too, and my mental health. So that therefore affected my body. I was like constantly in and out of depression, feeling a lot of anxiety. And before I knew it, one day I literally just woke up and looked in the mirror and was like, what? I didn't recognize my body. Like before that, I had been so out of my body, so dissociated at moments, that I had not been paying attention to my body for months. So when I finally looked at my body and I saw how much weight I had gained, I saw that my boobs were not fitting into my bras. I noticed my belly was bigger. I saw stretch marks. I saw stretch marks on my body that had never had stretch marks in these places before. And I was like, what happened? I was like, I freaked out. I was like, what happened? I was like, have I really been out of it that long? So from there, that was like a wake-up call. But after that, we ended up having to fight for that place again. And I talk about that in depth in my video series called Homelessness and Resources and Tips, something like that. So in there, I go in depth about it. I just go in depth about it to let you know what happened, how we ended up homeless, but also the amazing opportunity. We were going to be traveling out west, but then something horrible happened and we couldn't even do that. So I've just been through some stuff that really, really, really activated the fight or flight response constantly, which then triggered cortisol levels to go up. So like, I just watched my body go back and forth in weight. And of course, having to eat shitty food sometimes, combined with not working out my body or moving it like I used to, that's a breeding ground for your body to get out of whack. So after that, we lived somewhere and still had to eat like kind of like okay food until we started becoming really crafty with how to generate income and then buy better food for ourselves. And that was the starting point for me. I was like, look, I can't get mentally better. I can't get emotionally better, anything really, unless I start eating better food. So we made that a goal to start eating healthier foods. And we started that with every plate, literally ordering the meal kit thingies from every plate. And I coupled that with deep devotion to Mother Mary and Hanuman. And that helped transform everything. I just went into a very deep initiation and process with the goddess. And it was amazing. That was last year. That was January of last year. And from January until the end of the year, it's amazing how quick things manifested for my body, for my path, for everything. But that leads me to say that everything developed in almost every area of my life except for my physical body. Like I got healthier. I got out of a very unhealthy living situation and we started to eat way better food. And I continue with my chiropractic care. I found a new chiropractor and she is amazing. It's a woman. She's great. I love her. And so I continue with chiropractic care, but I've been on and off with yoga, just kind of like here or there. So that is why I decided at the beginning of April, I said, look, Trina, this is it. You've got everything else going for you. Now it's time to get back where you really want to be. And not even get back. I don't want to go back because my body has changed so much that I don't think it's going to look how it used to look. And that's okay, because I think that my body is actually going to look amazing and different and how it's really supposed to look after all this. So I'm really excited to see the transformation. Yeah, I told my girlfriends in my priestess circle, this is my inner circle, they know everything I've been through, and like I am in alignment with my soul. On my journey, that was my goal, my aim, to align back with my soul. So I have been aligned with my soul, right? But I've struggled with my body. Literally, I've struggled with my body on and off my whole life, right? So I was like, you know what? It's time. I've had moments in my life where my soul and my body, my soul and my vessel have been aligned, and then they fall out of alignment again. So I've had moments in my life where I've like felt completely soul and body completely in alignment, and I felt amazing and gorgeous and just all of that, but also fully anchored in, and all parts of my body felt good, like just, you know what I mean, like no inflammation. It felt like fluid and flexible and just yummy. But you know what it feels like when you don't feel good in your body. And I said, you know what, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of not feeling good in my body, and I'm tired of my soul not being aligned with my vessel. So I made it a goal that I'm going to get my soul and my vessel in alignment. And I've been doing things here and there since around January, even maybe December, on and off, like cleansing in different ways, changing up foods, and finding what my body wants now. Not what my body wanted when I was 25, not what my body wanted when I was 19, not what my body wanted when it was 28. I'm going to tell you now, sister, okay? Your body is going to continue to change. You're going to continue to change. If you are continuing to grow and expand, please do not limit your body. Your body's going to change as you grow and as your earth age changes. So I'm experimenting to see what my body needs now. So April 1st, that was my goal to myself. So I did a flush of the body, like I teach you in my online course. And then I started changing up foods and taking out other crap out of my lifestyle, out of my life. I do not say diet, because a diet is just that, a diet, a fad. And I started incorporating things back in again, making my yummy protein shakes. Like I have this recipe to make it on my own. But I know that I'm still lacking in certain things. So I decided to invest in a different nutrient dense superfood shake. So I just started that days ago, and then I finally invested in this dance workout. So I begin tomorrow. So I'm excited. I'm gonna get my groove on. I'm also gonna be working out my body. You know, I'm drinking this new superfood shake. I'm gonna make an effort to get on my yoga mat and stretch out, because it's so good. Because when you bulk up and build your muscle, but you want to stretch and help lean it out too, and bring in air, bring in consciousness into these spaces and stretch it out, make sure everything's okay and fluid, right? Yeah, I'm gonna do this for myself, and you know, I want to chime back in every few days or every week. I don't know. Maybe I'll just add it to my self-care Saturday, like an update of how it's going, and then at the end of the month I'll share everything. And if you love what you see, contact me, okay? Because this is going to be something new. Many of you already know that I do pranic healing. I just say energy healing because everything's energy, right? But I work with spirit with doing pranic, sound healing, light language, working with plant medicines. Please check out my Etsy shop, Cosmopolite. But what I'm going to do is complement everything I do. Now I'm going to help people with their physical form. I mean, I already help through energy healing. I help people with their body, right? I help you with letting go of stagnant energy that is affecting your body, causing physical ailments. And in my online course, I am helping you with your physical body. But it's new. It's about to be published, so that's something new. It's not something I've been doing. In this course, I teach you about your physical body, learning about your body, your unique body, not all of our bodies, your unique body, specific to you. And then I help you through learning about your mental space, your mental health, and where you're at, and how you can cultivate a better space here. And then I walk you through into the end of a spiritual life, some kind of sacred time for you, however you want to word it, okay? But I teach you how to set aside sacred time for self. And through each module, it teaches you how all of these facets of healing and health actually are interdependent. They depend on one another. So when one of them is off, you are affecting the other aspects of your life. Okay, you cannot have one without the other. So I have that course, and now I'm going to be adding on coaching and guiding people through their physical journey, their physical health and nutrition, and I'm going to combine that with energy healing and all that good stuff. So stay tuned. Stay here with me. It'll help keep me accountable. If you're also on a physical healing journey, if you are also trying to get your body into alignment, reach out and let me know. I want to hear your stories. I get freaking excited and inspired. I get motivated and inspired when I see other people working and putting so much loving effort into themselves, into their bodies. So let me know, because I will be your cheerleader. I will be like, woo, yeah, you know, like we can help one another out. Let me know if you're interested in this dance workout program too. So there's all that, and I'm really, really excited. And thank you for listening, because this has just been a journey, and it's been my journey. Now that that's out the way, before I get off, I want to let you know I'm doing my first Instagram live with someone else tomorrow. That is Monday. Let me check. Monday the 26th. I think we'll be live at least by 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay, I am going to be live with Virginia Love Yoga. I think that is her handle. If I have it wrong, regardless, I'll put the handle in here. But yes, I will be live tomorrow with Virginia. We will be talking about 5D, about New Earth, and surprisingly, she wants to ask me about my journey and why it's so important to dedicate yourself to your spiritual journey. Why is it important to tap into 5D, all that good stuff. So stay tuned. Come see us on Instagram. I'm Trino Tarot on Instagram. She's Virginia Love Yoga. I'm also going to post something on Instagram and Facebook so that you guys know. So we'll love to see you there. And no worries. I know that Instagram lives get recorded. So if you can't catch it live, it will be uploaded on her profile. I'll just make sure to have a link to send you there. Okay. Thank you so much for being here, spending some time with me. Be well. Namaste. Mitakoe o yasin. Aloha nui. Ciao.